Hello, Shy Guitar people. So today I am going to be doing a lyric breakdown video, which you guys voted on. So this should be fun. I decided since I'm not famous enough to make a genius lyric breakdown video, I'm gonna make my own. So here we go. This should be fun and emotional and lots of things. So the first song that I'm going to start off with is called Miriam.
It was Miriam's wedding day, but instead of a smile on her face, there were black streets.
And this song is a song that I wrote about sexual assault. So let's get into the lyrics. It was Miriam's wedding day, but instead of a smile on her face, there were black streaks along her cheeks. She did not love the man standing in front of her. So this first verse was actually inspired by something that somebody said to me, like, oh, I know you're always, like, I know you're gonna marry our son, blah, 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 kind of like an arranged marriage. And I was like, lady, no. So, like, Miriam is kind of like me. So I thought, oh, but what if that did happen, you know? And so that's how the first verse came into play. Next is the chorus. This is her story, and I will tell you this. That man attacked her once in her life. That man feels no remorse, and poor Miriam has to live with it every day. So this is an explanation of, like, Miriam was sexually assaulted by the person that she is marrying, and nobody knows about it because he hasn't apologized, he hasn't come out with his story, he just doesn't feel bad about it, and she has to live with that every single day of her life. And that's just sad. So the second verse is, she walks down the aisle but through tears. This hasn't happened for a while, it's been years. She doesn't know who to turn to, there's no one to tell. So this is the part where Miriam is feeling like it's where she feels scared about, like, her being assaulted, and victims sometimes don't come out with that because they are scared, maybe for their life, maybe they are ashamed for whatever reason. And the this hasn't happened for years part, like, it basically means it's been a while since this happened to her, and so she doesn't know who she can tell, she doesn't know where to turn. So that's that part. And then it's the chorus again, and then it's the bridge, and the bridge, it's my favorite part. So the bridge is, when she's looking him in the eye, something strong awakens inside. Miriam screams, this man hurt me. He tore me up into shreds. So this is where she finally gets the courage to, like, speak out against him, and she finally gets the courage to, like, finally take control of her own life and say, hey, this person hurt me. And then is the third verse. So the third verse is, that man got what he deserved. He got locked up for the rest of his life. Miriam burst with joy. She did not have to be his wife. And that is the story of Miriam. So that is the final part where she is just so happy because she finally spoke out against the person who hurt her. And yeah, and he gets locked up, which is exactly what he deserves. Like, he goes to jail. So that's a happy ending. So the next song is If I Had a Voice. And this is a song that is basically about speaking out loud, but, like, not having people who actually hear you out. So the first verse is, speaking but no one can hear me. In a room full of people, but it feels empty. I speak loud, but it sounds so quiet. Nobody can hear me, and they don't deny it. So this is me saying, like, when I say something, nobody really pays attention. They don't really like listen, and they show it like visibly. They even act like they don't care, like through their body language. So that's that. So the chorus is, if I had a voice, would you listen to me? If I had a voice, would you take me seriously? If I had a voice, would my words still cling to the air? Nobody can hear me, 'cause I don't have a voice anywhere. So that is the chorus, basically asking like, if I was somebody who you would actually want to listen to, or somebody who was actually important, would you listen to me? And like, would my words just evaporate into thin air? Like, would people actually listen to me if I was somebody of importance that they actually cared about? So yeah, that's that part. The second verse is, say what you want, 'cause you know I can't reply. I know you'd talk over me or ignore me if I tried. Then you act nice to me, 'cause you just wanna pry. But when I got shit to say, I might as well just stayed quiet. So that is me being like, say whatever the heck you want. I know you're not gonna listen. I know you're just gonna like ignore it or talk over me if I speak up about something that I don't like. I know you're just being nice to me so you can find out things about me to tell other people. So that's, and then once I get mad about something, I might as well just stay quiet because somebody will yell at me for no reason or something like that. So that's that part. And then it's the chorus again. And it's, yeah, and then it's, nobody can hear me because I don't have a voice anywhere. So that's that part, which is basically just repetition. The next song is called CO2, which I wrote about having a midlife crisis at 22.
How can I calm down with fire in my head? How am I to breathe the CO2 instead? I'm choking and crawling and falling on the floor. Still can't see.
Because I felt like I didn't know what was going on with my life. I felt like I was just so confused. I had no direction, so I wrote this song. So, the first verse is, everything is so loud, even when it's quiet. I wish my mind would shut up. I want to be sure of myself, but how can I say that I need help? So the whole everything is so loud, even when it's quiet, is basically me saying, when you're with your thoughts and just only your thoughts, like that, your thoughts are the thing that is loud. Like you, and I wish my mind would just shut up because like it just won't stop worrying about every single thing. So that's that part. I want to be sure of myself is like, I want to know, like, I want to be able to know what I'm doing with my life. I want to know where I'm going. And, but how can I say that I need help is like, I want to ask for help, but like, I don't want to be a burden to anybody. So like, how do I initiate that? The next part is, I'm reaching and crawling and falling on the floor. I don't even know what I'm reaching for. That's the next part of the first verse. I forgot about that. So it's basically like, you know, when you're like just, you're struggling and people like, that's kind of like a metaphor. Like I'm reaching and crawling and falling on the floor. Like I'm struggling and I don't know what I'm struggling for because I don't know what I'm doing with my life. So that's that part. And then it's the pre-chorus. So the pre-chorus is, just calm down, just take a breath. Girl, just count every step. Which is, this is something my boyfriend told me actually. He's just like, you know, just take it day by day. Don't worry about the future. Like, so I put that into this song. Like, this is what people are telling me. And then the chorus. The chorus is, how can I calm down with fire in my head? How am I to breathe with CO2 instead? I'm choking and crawling and falling on the floor. I still can't see what I'm reaching for. So this is basically me being like, what do you mean, like, calm down? Like, I can't calm down. And what I told him was like, I feel like there's like a bunch of fire in my head. Like, and it's just so chaotic. And like CO2, like carbon dioxide, is what comes from smoke. And like humans can't breathe CO2. So I was like, how am I to breathe CO2 instead? Like, how am I gonna get out of my own head? And I'm still struggling, and I don't know what I'm struggling for again. And then it's the next verse. The next verse is, do I get up or get knocked down? How do I smile through this frown? I am trapped in my own head, and I can't see a single exit. And so that is me being like, do I like keep struggling, or do I give up, or like how am I gonna get through this? I don't know. And I'm trapped in my own head. Basically is like I'm thinking about this and I'm thinking about that, like I don't know what I'm doing, where is my life going, and like basically I'm just trapped. I'm a prisoner of my own mind, and I don't know how to get out. Yeah, so that's that part. And for the last song today,
Now that I've cut you out, please just go away. You're never gonna change or apologize anyway. So what's the point? What's the point?
this is a song that was very, very emotional, and it's called No Point. And I wrote it on a day when my dad was home, and everyone was going like, oh, you should go and see your dad, blah, 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 blah. And I was just so anxious. And so I grabbed my guitar and I started writing things down immediately. So the first verse is, you're disgusting, you're ugly. No one will ever want to love you. I believed those words for so long, hated myself, didn't want to go on. So the first part is me saying like, this is what he made me believe, this is what you told me, and I believed them, and I didn't want to live anymore. And so then the chorus is, and I can't fucking eat when you're around, 'cause these scars you left still hurt. They can still knock me to the ground. So that's the pre-chorus. And like the words I can't eat basically came from like that day I was hungry, but I couldn't eat because I didn't know when I was gonna run into him. I didn't know like when he would come around, so like I couldn't eat because I was just so anxious. And like these scars you left still hurt. Like I'm still insecure about things that he made me believe. And yeah, that's that part done. Then the chorus is, now that I've cut you out, please just go away. You're never gonna change or apologize anyway. So what's the point? What's the point? So that is me basically saying, now that I've pushed you away, like I've learned to live without you, why are you here? Just go away because it's just easier. I cut you out for a reason. And you're never going to change. You're never going to say you're sorry. So there's just no point in doing anything with this. So the second verse is, you never heard me when I spoke out. So why do you want to listen now? So that is me saying, like, when I needed you, you weren't there. So, like, why do you want to hear me out now? And then it's the chorus, and then I say, there's no point. So that is me just reiterating, saying, like, yo, there's no point in, like, doing anything because you're just never going to change. You're the same exact person. So that is no point. So yeah, that was my lyric breakdown for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I get to write more songs in the future so I can do more of these. It's kind of fun, like telling you the stories behind my songs and my lyrics. And I wrote about 2 more, I think, but I don't have the guitar with me, so I can't do them now. But I will in the future, don't worry. And next week's video will be a book review because you guys voted on that as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little lyric breakdown. Make sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed.
Shut up and sit down.